Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank is a 2020 drama that follows a gay professor who reluctantly returns home for his father's funeral, accompanied by his longtime partner and his niece. Going back home brings up traumatic memories as he faces his past and who he is now. So this film was written and directed by an out man named Alan Ball, who you may know from 6 Feet Under, True Blood, or his Academy Award winning American Beauty. And I had heard actually very little about Uncle Frank. Basically, all I knew going into this film was that Paul Bettany was our star. I knew literally nothing else. Had not read a synopsis, did pretty much no homework going in, I'm going to be honest. And as is the case a lot of the times here for the channel, I stayed clear of the trailers and just went in blind. And this film was not what I had expected, both in a good way and in some not great ways. Ultimately, Uncle Frank ends at a solid film. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, I would like to start off with our cast, beginning with Paul Bettany, who is wonderful in this film. He really delivers a deep performance that is full of empathy and full of pain, even early on as we are just looking at his character and living through his performance. You can see a lot going on under the surface with this character, and it's just a really well realized performance from Bettany. I also do think Sophia Lillis does a nice job here as his niece. And then we have an all-star cast of supporting characters in this film. Judy Greer, Stephen Root, Steve Zane, Lois Smith, Margot Martindale. We have some stellar actors that make up this ensemble, and everybody does a great job. Stephen Root has this really impactful moment to shine. Margot Martindale really brings that gravitas and presence, as she always does. Really, everybody in this cast delivers what they need. And this film took me to some darker places than I had anticipated. There were some themes in here that I wasn't expecting to explore, really. And I enjoyed this conversation about family, religion, and sexuality. And I think overall, that is handled pretty well. Plus, we really kind of delve into this internalized homophobia, internalized hatred, and that was a really interesting concept to at least talk about. And while this is certainly a drama, I found myself laughing quite a bit, mostly thanks to his longtime partner, Wally, who is played by Peter Makdisi, who is hilarious in this film, and what a blast of a performance from him. But it certainly takes you through the gambit of emotions, I think, that you're supposed to feel, if you will. And we will loop back around to that point in our negatives. It's also a gorgeous film. The costumes are lovely. It has this really warm tone and cinematography. Everything from a technical standpoint is really polished and well made. And I think it's a crowd pleaser. At the end of the day, that is what this film seems to be going for, and I think it does achieve that by the end. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Uncle Frank? Well, it's really quite heavy-handed, and that was my main issue. No matter what it was that we were exploring, just smacks the audience in the face with what it is that just smacks the audience in the face with it, time and time again. Outside of the acting, there's really no subtlety to be seen when it comes to Uncle Frank. And in that super brazen, super upfront and in-your-face type of storytelling, we also come across quite a few kind of problematic moments in the script. Some of these dialogue that is thrown out is a little bit cringeworthy. Some of the messaging that comes along with that dialogue is questionable at best, and particularly in the third act, things come to a dramatic head, and the third act gets quite sloppy. thanks to the big dramatics that we get to. But then this really safe and neutered ending that we conclude with. Even with the lack of subtlety, we dabble enough with these heavy emotional topics throughout the film that if the ending had been more complex, if the ending had bothered to be daring, even in the slightest, it would have done this film a great service. But unfortunately, that ending kind of serves to cap off the ultimate feeling of a crowd pleaser. Emotionally manipulative, perfectly fine, safe crowd pleaser. So overall, I think Uncle Frank is a good film. It's perfectly solid, well made for the most part, and has a good heart and intention behind it with some themes that still ring true to this very day. Unfortunately, it just comes bull rushing at you pretty much from start to finish and falls into cliches rather than subverting them, leaving this one falling short of reaching that ultimate line of greatness. But this will be available on Prime Video starting November 24th. So if you do have Amazon Prime, I would say this is certainly worth a watch. It is well intentioned enough, it has good themes in there, and the acting performances are very strong. Plus, it clocks in just over an hour and a half, so you don't have to labor through this extensive experience. So that is my review of Uncle Frank. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Uncle Frank? And what is your favorite LGBTQ plus movie? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!